Hello LANDAU students, I am Miss Sara and I would like to thank you for joining me to discover our amazing Earth through geography. The theme of this lesson is volcanoes. Please pause the video to draw the graphics, take notes, copy the table, and search for any words that you may not understand. As we first take a look at volcanoes, it is important to understand that volcanoes are found all over the world and impact people in different ways. We will learn about the four main types of volcanoes. After learning about different kinds of volcanoes, we will take a look at the most active volcano hotspot on the planet, Iceland. Following that, we will take an in-depth look at Pompeii and see how history has been preserved through tragedy. In conclusion, we will take a look at the mud volcanoes of Gobustan and learn about how they form. A volcano is an event that directly connects magma to the surface of the Earth. It is also described as a mountain or hill, typically conical, having a crater or vent through which lava, rock fragments, hot vapor, and gas are being or have been erupted from the Earth's crust. At present, there are more than 600 active volcanoes on Earth, such as Mount Etna on Sicily and Mount Kilauea on Hawaii. Most of them are found near active plate margins. The most active volcanic area on the planet is known as the Ring of Fire. When we think of volcanoes, often the image that comes to mind is a catastrophic Hollywood-worthy explosion. Actually, there are different types of volcanoes. Some are very dangerous, while others are not. In order to understand the true nature of a volcano, it is important to know what kind it is. Geologists and professional volcanologists usually classify volcanoes into four different types based on their shape, magnitude, structure, material, meaning type of liquid rock in their magma chamber, and the type of eruption. The four major types of volcanoes, as seen here on the slide, are the cinder cone volcano, the composite volcano, the shield volcano, and the lava dome. One of the most common types of volcanoes is the cinder cone volcano. Less dangerous compared to the other types. Cinder cones only grow to about 300 to 400 meters tall. Unlike some of the other types of volcanoes, namely shield volcanoes and composite volcanoes, cinder cones are usually created from a single opening. The opening of a cinder cone is a cone-shaped structure, while the steeps are formed of the erupted fragmented cinders that fall close to the chimney or vent. The manner of eruption for cinder cones is relatively simple. When the lava erupts, cinders of it are blown into the air. These fragmented cinders fall a short distance from the opening, thus creating the cone. Examples of cinder cone volcanoes include Paricutin in Mexico, Lava Buta, and Sunset Crater. A final note about cinder cone volcanoes is that most of them are extinct. An extinct volcano is a volcano that is no longer active and no longer has a risk of erupting. Composite volcanoes are also known as stratovolcanoes. Composite volcanoes are reasonably big and can rise. Another type of volcano is the shield volcano. Unlike cinder cones, shield volcanoes can be very, very big in size. However, they are not as dangerous as that size might make it seem. This is because the eruption of lava out of shield volcanoes is not accompanied by pyroclastic material. Pyroclastic material is bursts of gas and particles. Shield volcanoes may be tall, but tend to be very broad, with less steep slopes than other volcanoes. Shield volcanoes can be huge because of their ample supply of magma. For example, Mauna Loa is a shield volcano on Hawaii that rises more than 9,000 meters above its base at the bottom of the ocean. Other examples of shield volcanoes include Fernandina near the Galapagos Islands and the Billy Mitchell volcano in Papua New Guinea. Lava domes are the fourth type of volcanoes that we are going to discuss. Unlike composite and shield volcanoes, lava domes are significantly of smaller stature. They are formed when lava is too viscous to flow to a great distance. As the lava dome slowly grows, the outer surface cools and hardens as the lava continues to pile within. Eventually, the internal pressure can shatter the outer surface, causing loose fragments to spill down its sides. Generally, such lava domes are found on the flanks of larger composite volcanoes. Examples of lava dome volcanoes include Mount St. Helens in the United States, Chaiten lava dome in Chile, and Chofayoku on Iceland. In the table, you can see a comparison between the different types of volcanoes. Take a moment to pause this video and to copy this table down, as it will help you to remember the differences. Cinder cone, otherwise known as scoria cone, is a symmetrical cone, has a height of up to 370 meters and a slope of 30 to 40 degrees. The type of eruption is where cinders erupt out of one opening and fall close to the chimney or vent. Shield volcanoes are tall and broad, with a height of up to and over 9,000 meters. Roughly 10 degrees near the base and 5 degrees near the top is the slope. And the type of eruption does not have pyroclastic material. Composite volcanoes, otherwise known as stratovolcanoes, are tall, steep, and symmetrical. They're up to about 2,400 meters. Their slope is roughly 6 degrees near the base and roughly 30 degrees near the top. Their eruptions are of hot gases, ash, lava, pumice, with stiff, slow-moving lava, and lahars, which are deadly mud flows. And finally, lava dome volcanoes. The shape here is a dome. They have a height of up to 100 meters. Their slope is 25 to 30 degrees. And their type of eruption, the lava is too viscous to flow a great distance, and lava spills down its sides. According to ancient Icelandic legend, Iceland was once an immortal battlefield with gods waging war in lava fields. As one of the most volcanic regions in the world today, Iceland is home to more than 130 volcanic mountains, many of them active, meaning that they've erupted during the past few centuries. The last big event on Iceland was in spring 2010, when Eyjafjallajökull, a volcano on the eastern volcanic zone in southern Iceland, erupted. A picture of this eruption can be seen here to the left. In the picture to the right, the third volcano on the right through the snow-covered lava field is Þríhnjúkagjá volcano. Þríhnjúkagjá is a dormant volcano, meaning it last erupted over 4,000 years ago, and there are no indications that it's going to erupt again in the near future. The volcano's name, mostly unpronounceable for anyone other than locals, would be directly translated as Three Peaks Crater. The name comes from Arne B. Stephenson, who was the first to explore the vault, and who has pleaded the case for making it accessible to people for years. The three craters are prominent landmarks standing against the sky on the highland edge, about 20 kilometers southeast of Reykjavik. The next slide will tell you why it is so special. What does the inside of a volcano look like? The magma chamber is often referred to as the heart of a volcano. It's there that the liquid rock waits to find a way through to the surface, causing a volcanic eruption. In most cases, the crater is usually closed after the eruption by cold, hard lava. There is only one place on the planet where man can currently go into a volcano. To the left is a picture of me after dropping in to the Þríhnjúkagjá volcano in Iceland. Þríhnjúkagjá is a rare exception because the magma in the chamber seems to have disappeared. It's believed that the magma solidified in the walls or quite simply retreated to the depths of the earth. Haraldur Sigurdsson, volcanologist, explains it like this: Þríhnjúkagjá is unique. It's like somebody came down and pulled the plug, and all the magma ran down out of it. Take a moment to look at the picture to the right. This is a photo I took looking directly up at the opening of the volcano in which we descended. The many different colors of the rocks represent different minerals. They include sulfur, iron, and basalt. Nearly 2,000 years ago, Pompeii was a bustling city located in what is now known as southern Italy. But in the summer of AD 79, the nearby Mount Vesuvius volcano erupted. It spewed smoke and toxic gas over 30 kilometers into the air, which soon spread to the town. Almost overnight, Pompeii and many of its 10,000 residents vanished under a blanket of ash. After the volcano first erupted shortly after noon, the thick ash turned everything black. People couldn't even see the sun. Some residents escaped the city, while others took shelter in their homes. But the ash kept falling. Piles grew as deep as 3 meters in some places, blocking doorways and caving in roofs. Around midnight, the first of 4 searing hot clouds of ash, rock, and toxic gas, also called surges, rushed down the volcano. Traveling towards Pompeii at about 300 kilometers an hour, the surge scorched everything in its path. Around 7 a.m., nearly 19 hours after the initial eruption, the city was completely covered in a deadly mix of ash and rock. Pompeii was basically lost and forgotten until it was rediscovered in 1748. Thanks to excavations, which are still going on today, scientists and archaeologists have been able to figure out almost exactly what happened on that terrible day. Today, scientists, archaeologists, and historians are still discovering more and more things about Pompeii. The layers of ash actually help preserve buildings, artwork, and even the forms of bodies as they decomposed and left holes in the ash. Mud volcanoes, also known as sedimentary volcanoes or gas-oil volcanoes, are close cousins to magmatic volcanoes. Just like the magmatic volcanoes that we have studied here in this video so far, they can erupt powerfully and hurl flames to great heights. They spew out millions of cubic meters of hydrocarbon gases and tons of mud. Mud volcanoes also exist on the floor of the sea and can form islands and banks that alter the topography and shape of the coastline, and even can trigger earthquakes. Another feature of mud volcanoes is their direct relationship to oil and gas fields. Mud volcanoes resemble super deep exploration wells in the sense that they are direct indicators of hydrocarbons at great depths and provide valuable information on the formation and migration of oil and gas. Both mud volcanoes and hydrocarbon fields are the result of a single process of oil and gas formation, which has the characteristic vertical zone with methane gas forming in younger strata, overlying a zone of intense formation of oil and fatty gases. Azerbaijan and its Caspian coastline are home to nearly 400 mud volcanoes, more than half of the total in the world. In Azerbaijan, eruptions are driven from the deep mud reservoir, which is connected to the surface even during dormant periods, when seeping water shows a deep origin. In conclusion, to summarize this introduction to volcanoes, there are 4 different types of volcanoes: cinder cone, composite cone, shield, and lava dome. Iceland has the most volcanoes on the planet and is known as the land of ice and fire. Pompeii is a city that was destroyed by a volcano. After its discovery, archaeologists have made thousands of discoveries about ancient people who once lived there. Azerbaijan has the most mud volcanoes in the world. Mud volcanoes are also known as sedimentary volcanoes or gas-oil volcanoes.